The Hudson River flows back and forth with the tide, connecting the great metropolis at its mouth with the dramatic landscapes and fertile lands of the Hudson Valley. A healthy Hudson Valley is critical to the future of New York City and the entire region as the source of clean water, clear air, recreation, spiritual renewal, and, increasingly, healthy food. But the New York metropolitan area is expected to see an increase in population of more than 3 million people by 2030. And the beautiful landscapes of the Hudson Valley, its farms, its wetlands, its forests, all could fall to an onslaught of sprawl and suburban development. Protecting the valley's resources and quality of life through this period of growth is job one for Scenic Hudson in its next 50 years. I know we can succeed. I know this because 50 years ago, our founders sat around a kitchen table and decided to stop a large power plant that would have defaced Storm King Mountain. Lawyers said we could never win, but 1963 was a time for dreaming. Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream that inspired the civil rights movement. And the 1963 dream of Scenic Hudson's founders led to the landmark Scenic Hudson court decision, giving all Americans a voice in protecting the natural places they love. For the 50 years since then, we have been raising our voice in defense of the Hudson Valley, saving 75 highly productive farms, creating 60 parks for residents and visitors, permanently protecting over 30,000 acres of ecologically vital land, giving our small cities back their waterfronts as engines of economic revitalization, and even resurrecting a tributary of the Hudson that had been entombed in concrete. Scenic Hudson has achieved all of this because we don't work alone. We benefit from authentic partnerships with other conservation organizations, government, business, and communities, including diverse and underserved communities in places like Yonkers, Newburgh, and Beacon. Scenic Hudson knows how to listen. These partnerships will power our work for the next 50 years. And perhaps most importantly, Scenic Hudson rejects the notion that we have to choose between a healthy planet and economic growth. The 2 million citizens of the Hudson Valley need housing and good jobs. Here in the Hudson Valley, a sustainable environment is the necessary foundation for all economic growth. Agriculture and tourism, major engines of the economy, depend on our success in saving farms and saving the places that people come here to see. We want healthy, vibrant cities and partner with developers and investors when our goals align. Scenic Hudson at 50 finds itself in the middle of 3 ambitious initiatives. A campaign to permanently protect tens of thousands of acres that we have identified through rigorous analysis as the highest priority conservation lands in the valley. A major initiative to work with riverfront communities to mitigate the effects of climate change by protecting critical infrastructure from flooding and by preserving flood buffering wetlands. And an innovative quest to have New York City recognize the importance of safeguarding its food shed as it has its water supply by forging a grand partnership of Hudson Valley farmers, food groups, and other conservation organizations in order to permanently protect our best agricultural lands and energize local economies in an 11-county region. These are big ideas, but anything less ambitious would be a betrayal of the dreams of our founders a half-century ago. I've dedicated a substantial portion of my life to supporting Scenic Hudson and its skilled and passionate staff. I hope that now you will join us in this work. Together, we can show the world that economic growth and environmental quality can be mutually reinforcing, that conservation can be grounded in the values and needs of our diverse and increasingly urban communities, and that our cities and countryside can be linked together as dynamic partners in creating a more sustainable world.